Previously.
Krillin? Krillin! What's wrong, Krillin? Wake up! Wake up!
Huh? Who are you bozos? You don't know who we are? Let us show you. My name is Tambourine. Cymbal. Drum. And we are the Piccolo Force. Poopa Stinka. What? As the heroes arrive on the island and wait for Piccolo, Tien asks Goku if they think they can win. Goku sweats as he tells everyone that he doesn't think he can take on the Demon King alone. But if they all fight together, then they might have a chance. Yamcha is nervous. If even Goku was worried, then what chance do they have? However, Roshi puts his hand on Yamcha's shoulder. Did you already forget what I taught you? Martial arts was created to defend oneself against threats many times greater than ourselves. If we believe in our martial arts and each other's abilities, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Now, let's focus on devising a strategy, shall we? A plan was set. They would hide the Dragon Balls and Chiaotzu somewhere safe. As they distract Piccolo, they will try to steal the last Dragon Ball from him and hand it over to Chiaotzu. Then, he can summon Shenron and wish for the Demon King to be defeated. It wasn't a foolproof plan, and anything could go wrong, but it was all they had. Yet, Tien had his doubts that this was really their only plan. Could Roshi possibly know a way to defeat Piccolo? He must have brought that rice cooker for a reason. As the sun starts to set, Goku and Yamcha look up to the sky. Despite the pep talk from earlier, the young man was still filled with anxiety. Yamcha questions if he's nervous, and Goku replies that yeah, a little. But more than that, he just can't help but be excited. He was going to have a chance to fight someone really strong. Yamcha laughs. Even in a situation like this, Goku can still be just so confident and optimistic. Goku looks back at the sky and mentions how it's a shame the moon is gone. If it wasn't, maybe that moon monster could show up and stomp on that Piccolo guy. Yamcha laughs nervously, stammering that it's probably for the best that the moon isn't around anymore. Goku suddenly bolts up as he feels a dark presence. A massive flying fortress hovers overhead, and from out of the top, an enormous figure emerges. King Piccolo has arrived. Roshi checks the radar and, of course, the last Dragon Ball was up above them. King Piccolo chuckles, pulling out the ball from his pocket and asking if they were looking for this. With a sadistic grin, he swallows the ball whole. The Z-Fighters look on in shock and despair as Roshi shakes in anger. They couldn't count on Shenron to save the day. They'd have to somehow defeat Piccolo on their own. Piccolo drops down from the airship, crashing into the ground and leaving a small crater in his wake. The elderly demon taunts the fighters for being pathetic, idiotic weaklings. Do they really think they stand a chance against the horrible Demon King Piccolo? He knows they're hiding those Dragon Balls. If they hand over their balls now, he will give them the generous gift of a quick death. Roshi retorts that they will do no such thing. It will be himself and his students that will get rid of him for good. Piccolo laughs, getting into a battle stance as he requests them to not break so easily. Roshi yells at his students to stay sharp and focused. If they slip up just once, they will die here. The martial artist and Piccolo clash. Chiaotzu can only look on in awe from his hiding spot at the power on display. As part of their plan, Goku and Roshi rush down Piccolo as Yamcha and Tien provide support with Ki Blasts and Kamehamehas. Piccolo isn't able to keep up with all these overwhelming waves of attacks. Every time he blocks strikes from Goku and Roshi, he gets blasted with Ki. Whenever he attempts to guard against an incoming Ki attack or fire his own blast at Yamcha or Tien, he gets struck down with a flurry of blows. However, what was more astonishing was Goku and Roshi's ability to seemingly dodge every single hit Piccolo tries to make. It was as if they could tell what Piccolo was going to do before he did. They had become untouchable, impenetrable defenses, and all that did was make the demon angrier, which gave them more opportunities to attack. Master Roshi looks on in amazement. They were actually dealing damage to Piccolo. They were dodging all of his attacks. Perhaps they really don't need the Mafuba after all. Unfortunately, the tides of battle are changed the moment someone cries out in pain. The heroes turn around and spot Chiaotzu, badly beaten and bruised, as he is held up by someone familiar to them. It was none other than Master Shen, the Crane Hermit. Shen snickers as he tells the Demon King that he had found this sneaky rat along with the remaining Dragon Balls. Tien and Roshi are mortified at what they hear. What the hell was he doing? Roshi is absolutely livid, yelling out to his former comrade, calling him a fool for thinking he could possibly work with a devil like Piccolo. Does he not remember what he and his spawn did to their dojo? Had he forgotten their master's sacrifice? Doesn't he know what this monster will do if he gets his way? Shen shrieks at Roshi to shut up! He doesn't care anymore! He used to be a grand martial arts master of the greatest dojo in the world, but he and his blasted turtle school humiliated him beyond belief. That Goku brat killed his brother Tao and made a mockery of his entire school. He demonstrated techniques and a fundamental understanding of martial arts he could never comprehend. Not even his own students were safe from Roshi. His words wormed their way into their brains. They abandoned him. He was left all alone with nothing. All he had left was his hate. If he was meant to have nothing, while Roshi had everything, then it was only fitting for this world to be burned to the ground. It was him that freed the Demon King from his prison. He was the one to suggest hunting down the World of Martial Arts contestants. Even if the whole world was reduced to ash, he'd be fine with that, as long as he got to witness the death of the Turtle School. From up above on the Flying Fortress, Piano and the anxious Pilaf gang observe the battle. In a flashback, we are shown that the Pilaf gang, who were already searching for the Mafuba seal, had arrived just as Shen unleashed the Demon King, and, in an attempt to save their lives, offered the pair their flying fortress and the legend of the Dragon Balls. Although they did want to conquer the world, a part of them was secretly rooting for Goku to beat their new boss. Enraged beyond belief, Roshi lunges at Shen. The Crane Hermit threatens to kill Chiaotzu if he steps any closer, but a surprise bite from Chiaotzu causes the old master to drop him. Roshi orders his students to continue attacking Piccolo. Shen was his responsibility. This was his fight. Shen snorts. This was finally his chance to eliminate his most hated rival once and for all. As Roshi and Shen clash, Piccolo looks over at the remaining turtle students. He snickers, commending them for putting up more of a resistance than he expected. But if they thought they were making any progress, then they were sorely mistaken. He hadn't taken this battle seriously yet. Tien and Yamcha are horrified, but Goku looks on with fierce determination. He could sense his ki. He knew he wasn't using his full power. As Piccolo takes off his cape, Goku gulps. It was time for the real battle to begin. Now at full power, Piccolo is able to easily turn the tables. Goku's speed advantage was gone. The elderly demon was far faster than he could have ever imagined. It was only thanks to his key sensing that Goku was barely able to dodge his deadly strikes by the skin of his teeth. Yamcha tried to find an opening to jump in and help, but he couldn't find any. If he went in haphazardly, he'd be torn apart in an instant. Tien felt helpless. Here he was, once again completely outclassed. Yet, he refused to sit back and give up. Shen mocked Roshi, belittling his students, confident that their efforts would be futile. However, Roshi snarled back that he had the utmost faith in the next generation. They would break their limits and rise to the occasion. At that moment, Tien resolved to use his forbidden technique. He places his hands together, electricity crackling around him as he warns Yamcha to get back. Goku continued dodging Piccolo's attacks until he noticed what Tien was doing. Tien yells at Goku to dodge, who responds by jumping high up into the air. Tien unleashes the mighty Kikoho as Goku responds in turn with his own Kamehameha. The demon was completely covered in a bright blue and yellow light, followed by a massive explosion. The force of the blast was so immense, it damaged the flying fortress hovering overhead. It spiraled out of control, crashing into the nearby ocean. Piano was no more, yet the Pilaf gang were able to survive by jumping off the fortress at the nick of time. Now, there was only one question left on everyone's mind. Was it over? Had they won? Was the Demon King finally defeated? However, from the smoke, a beam shoots out and strikes Goku in the air. Tien cries out a sorrowful no as a laugh echoes across the field. Even with a devastating combined attack, Piccolo is able to take them head on. Piccolo wasn't unscathed. He did take some damage, yet he still found the energy to cackle maliciously. In rapid succession, the heroes fell apart. Tien and Yamcha attempt to rush down Piccolo, but they are dispatched effortlessly. Roshi attempts to intervene, but at every turn, he is stopped by a snickering Shen. Keep your eyes on your opponents, you senile old coot! Death will follow you soon enough! Chiaotzu can only stand there and watch, paralyzed in fear, as Piccolo continues torturing his downed opponents with sadistic glee. However, when he attempts to finish off Tien with a mouth beat, Chiaotzu finds the strength to leap forward and take the blast. Tien's eyes widen as his dearest friend sacrifices himself to save his life. Piccolo laughs cruelly. That little idiot gave his life for nothing. Yet, Piccolo doesn't kill the rest. No, he still saw the fight in his victims' eyes. He wants them all to fall into despair once they see what's about to happen. As Roshi lands a decisive blow on Shen, he notices Piccolo approaching the Dragon Balls. Realizing that his students had failed, it was up to Roshi to make the ultimate sacrifice. Perhaps this was always meant to be. Roshi shouts out to Piccolo, asking if he remembers who he is. What? Why would I remember the face of a lowly human? You see, the last time we met, I was with my master. Would you like to know his name? It was Muchaito. What? No, it can't be! Piccolo panics, sweating profusely the moment he hears that name. Roshi pulls out a capsule and clicks it, taking out his rice cooker. Piccolo gasps and shudders in fear. It couldn't be. This was the one that the Crane Coward warned him about. Goku and Yamcha don't understand what's going on, but Tien deduces that his hunch was right. Master Roshi really did have a secret technique up his sleeve. But why would he keep this a secret? Piccolo fires a laser beam to destroy the Mafuba container. He wouldn't be trapped again. Fortunately for our heroes, Yamcha, realizing that whatever his master was doing was important, charges in and takes a hit to protect the rice cooker. A loud snap is heard as Yamcha's leg is snapped from the intense force. Roshi thanks his pupil as he roars. Roshi performs the Mafuba, creating a swirling emerald vortex that snags the Demon King, slamming him down and successfully trapping Piccolo in the rice cooker. Finally, the war was almost over. However, before the seal could be placed, the jar is blasted apart as Piccolo emerges once more. An exhausted Roshi looks on in pure shock as he turns around to see Shen with his fingers outstretched. Shen had fired a Dodonpa to destroy the jar. Roshi shakes, calling Shen a fool that had doomed them all as he falls onto the ground, lifeless. Shen snickers. He had finally killed that old coot. How long had he dreamed of this moment? Yamcha and Tien are enraged. But Goku? He just can't process what just happened. There was no way that his master just died, right? No. It was all a trick. It had to be. Any moment now, Roshi would get back up and use that green toilet move again. Piccolo congratulates his subordinates, spitting out the final Dragon Ball that he had swallowed earlier. Now, he had all 7. Piccolo calls forth Shenron as the sky turns dark, summoning the Eternal Dragon. Tien uses telepathy to contact the only martial artist left standing, Yajirobe. Hiding behind a rock the whole time, Yajirobe panics when he hears a voice in his head, but Tien begs him to calm down and steal the wish from Piccolo. This was their only chance to stop him before it was too late. All he had to do was yell out to wish for Piccolo's death. Unfortunately, Yajirobe absolutely refused. He was too scared. He didn't want to die. The Demon King wastes no time as he wishes to be granted eternal youth. In an instant, his skin smoothens and his power skyrockets. His wish was granted. For his efforts, Shenron is immediately destroyed. Tien, Yamcha, and Yajirobe are left absolutely dumbstruck. The Dragon Balls were gone, and Piccolo was stronger than ever before. They were surely doomed. All the while, Goku can only look at the body of Roshi, struggling to move as he begs his master to get up. Shen laughs triumphantly, demanding that Piccolo kill those turtle brats and the ones who betrayed him. He fulfilled his end of the bargain. It was time for the Demon King to fulfill his. However, Piccolo instead smiles, grabbing Shen's head and lifting him up. He's grown tired of his incessant squawking. He would be rewarded with a merciful death. Shen squeals in fear as a hand pierces his chest, killing him instantly. Piccolo had a total victory, without a shadow of a doubt. The situation was utterly hopeless, but from the Valley of Despair, a single boy rises. Despite all the pain and the loss, Son Goku refused to give up. Hello everyone! Professor Chimp here. Looks like Goku and his friends are in quite a pickle. The boys lost their balls and they're on the brink of death. They'll need a miracle if they have any hope of surviving, let alone win. But this is Dragon Ball we're talking about. Anything is possible. This video took a long time to make, mainly for all the edits I had to make for it. I hope you all liked them. I mentioned this to my friends, but I'm willing to put in a lot of time and effort into something if it makes me laugh, no matter how short the edit or joke is. Although I must admit, this video took over 2 weeks to finish, which is longer than I expected. So it'll probably be a while until I finish Act 2. I'll take a break for a couple of days before I get back to work. This video took a lot out of me. Once Act 2 is done, I think I'll be bringing back an old series or two. We'll have to wait and see. I wanted to say thank you to several people who helped make this video possible. Firstly, I wanted to thank FoxGeese for making the Chiaotzu bite renders. He's fantastic and does great art, especially of the Mimi variety. I'd also like to thank young Dramps for making the various drawing of the Z Fighter's master plan. His drawings blew my expectations away and made me laugh so hard when I first saw them. He also writes pretty well, if I do say so myself. Lastly, I wanted to thank my D&D friends for staying on call with me during many nights for hours at a time, keeping me company while I worked, and even helping me come up with some ideas for edits. Without the love and support y'all have given me, this video would not have come out nearly as good as it did. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. And of course, thank you guys for watching this video. If you could share my videos with friends who like Dragon Ball, I'd really appreciate it. Please consider liking the video, subscribe to my channel, and ring that bell so you can be notified of any future updates. I have a Discord server now, where I post some of the edits and other progress I make on videos, as well as discuss with others about other what-if ideas. You can find a link for the server in the video description. Also, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please let me know in the comments section down below. I love to hear what y'all have to say. Okay, it's getting late. It's like 2 in the morning right now as I record this, and I really want to sleep. I'm gonna go collapse on my bed now and hibernate for the next 2 or 3 days, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, as always, my name is Professor Chimp. Stay safe out there, and I hope to see you all next time.